Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, thanks for stopping by. I hope you think it's a cool place to hang out at. And if you have been here before and decided to come back, thank you. I do appreciate it. Tonight, got a lot on my mind. I'm sure we all do. But as I'm thinking about some more specific things and something I wanted to talk about tonight, let's just title the video, Where Are Your Eyes? And right now, when we think about a lot of things that are going on societally, in the bigger scope of things, as well as maybe in our own individual experiences and lives, a lot of things are capturing our attention. And I think that it's very important for us to keep our eyes on certain things that may be very unpleasant, but need to be looked at and can't be ignored and shouldn't be ignored. But there has to be balance. And so how can we balance that with also keeping an eye or two on more enjoyable things and giving ourselves the time and the space and the permission to say, yes, I'm going to look at those things. And yes, I need to look at those things. But how can I balance that out and have a mental awareness and have a choice of saying, I'm also going to make an actual decision to say, I'm going to be on the lookout. And when I say on the lookout, let me change that. I'm going to be open to seeing what glimmers. There's so many things that are very triggering, but where are there glimmers, and just kind of saying, I just want to be open to see when they happen. And I got some rather not pleasant news this morning, and I am still processing that. But I went out and spent the day with my cousins, which is something we oftentimes spend time on the weekends, and I spent time with them, and we had a great lunch, and we went and did a little grocery shopping and had a great lunch. But we went to a Thai restaurant, and I was saying to my cousin and the owner that they've known for 30 years. They've been going to this, more than 30 years, they've been going to this restaurant. And so they were saying, God bless you. And so I was saying, I've not had Thai food in a really long time. And I haven't had it. The first time I ever had it was actually when I was in England. One of the first times that I was there and was very, very blessed to be able to spend some extended time there. And my friend Karen, we ordered Thai curry. And so when I came back to the States, I didn't know that Thai food could be without a curry, because England, everything's curry. And so I was like, yeah, it's so cool. And the owner was like, oh, wow, I'm so glad you're here, yada, yada. Not 5 minutes later, my phone rings, and it's Karen. We have not talked probably since around Thanksgiving. And so I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I'm having Masaman and tell her the whole story. And so she's laughing on the phone. My cousins are like, holy shit, are you kidding me? Like, that's who you were just talking about? Like, yes. And so I think it's just having that ability to have an openness right now to What are the moments that bring us joy? What are the moments where synchronicity is lining up? And how can we, number one, be open to the randomness of that happening, as the universe just can randomly align that and happen for us? And really kind of bask in the deliciousness, as Abraham Hicks would say. How can we just kind of immerse ourselves in those feelings and allow ourselves the permission to feel the excitement that comes from that, the joy, the optimism, and conversely, the happy memories of past experiences, of maybe simpler times or more joyful times, and kind of just remember that and use that as fuel for whatever things that we are facing and dealing, again, be it grander scale or in our own specific, lives. Got my Twin Peaks music on in the background. How I did not watch Twin Peaks, which is insane because I'm a huge David Lynch fan, but never watched Twin Peaks. So that's kind of been one of the places where I'm like, okay, how much more information do you need? How much more informed do you need to be about some things that are happening? And how can you give yourself the permission of, and yes, I'm going to intentionally put myself into this other world fantasy place? What other things can we do to give our minds and our nervous systems just some breathing, and literally perhaps doing breath work and breathing exercises, maybe immersing yourself into, David Lynch world. I really hope they don't flag me for having this in the background. And as a reader, so many of us carry decks with us, and I've realized that what has kind of become my current teddy bear is my Rose Bay Tarot. And I've just been keeping it in my purse at all times. And I don't really read for clients with it yet. I have read for a couple of clients, but mostly it's for my own personal practice. But there's a comfort, and I think because of the imagery that is in this deck, that's so beautiful, the colors, a lot of things that are kind of nostalgic in the deck. As a girl who grew up, in the 80s, and the Catholic imagery, that's something that brings me so much comfort. But this otherworldliness of the deck, and I have a video plan that I'm going to do that delves into that more deeply. But what's going to be your teddy bear? What's going to be the thing that you can keep with you in your purse, in your backpack, in your pocket, that's going to give you some kind of physical touchstone? Excuse me. Some kind of physical touchstone to just give yourself a moment to feel soothed and comforted, and use that as empowerment to then deal with whatever trials and tribulations. So, kept shuffling a card, but one fell out. So let's see what card has fallen out. Appropriate. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is someone who, she prides herself on her intellectual prowess, being informed, being knowledgeable, being very vocal about her thoughts and opinions, being able to substantiate her thoughts and opinions or ideas or ideals with facts, because Queen of Swords is someone who's done their homework, So in their best aspect, they know what the hell they're talking about. In its negative aspect would be mindful of not speaking out of turn, be mindful of not speaking when information or opinions were not asked, be mindful of popping off at the mouth and you don't have all of your facts and all of your information. But it's so much, again, the Queen of Swords is about, she's a planner. It's an energy of planning and being organized and detail oriented. And so I think it's a nod to the nurturing aspects of the queens in the tarot structure, married with that swords energy. How can we plan to, again, carve out the time to embrace gentility, to embrace healing and nurturing and peace? You know, as a former flight attendant, these clouds are gorgeous, but as a former flight attendant, that is, boy, so folks, it's going to be bumpy on the climb out. So in spite of all of the clouds and the turbulence, looking for moments of clarity or carving them out, hands-on, being very intentional and taking the action to carve out time, to clear our minds, to clear our headspace, to just breathe and to balance compassion and kindness. I just saw something, balance compassion and kindness with focus and intention and directness. There's got to be that balance. I just saw something on Instagram the other day that said roses give off, I don't remember how many hertz, but the energy is 3 times of that of human beings. And of course I thought about Rose Bay Tarot and perhaps keeping roses around us, or a single rose in our home or on our altar space, for the energy of the duality of roses, because roses have the beautiful, beautiful blossom, but they have the stem that has the thorns. So it's that balance. And where can we, with intention, plan to be able to create both and know when it's appropriate for us to access or to embrace and allow ourselves the receptivity of the nurturing, of the healing, of creating beauty in our world and having something beautiful or something that we think is beautiful, whether it's, you know, something that the masses would think or is, you know, Instagram worthy of beauty and perfection, what we think that brings us comfort and joy. Is it your Pittsburgh Steeler hoodie because you're a Steeler fan? Is it your favorite, you know, lipstick? Is it your teddy bear tarot deck? To have something in your hand that is a tool, that can be a tool, as tarot can, for communication and clarity, but also just immersing yourself in peace and beauty. So, having said that, me and my teddy bear are going to shut it down after a very long day. That was both not fun in a lot of ways, but also fun, and looking for, or excuse me, for me to be looking back on the moment of that synchronicity that just happened in a Thai restaurant with my friend calling, and again, keeping my mind sharp, but allowing for my mind to reflect on peace and compassion and kindness. And how can I embrace that for myself so that then I can move forward with whatever plans in an organized fashion, and to be able to do that and show up in that way for myself, for my friends, for my loved ones, for my clients, for my community. So until the next video, find your teddy bear. Maybe go watch Twin Peaks. Have a cup of tea. Put a cat on your lap. Buy roses. Use rose oil. Make hibiscus tea. But take good care of you so you can take good care of others. I'll see you all in the next video.